Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our special show, Powerful Boot Camp for Dads. I am so excited. Before I go, I want to introduce our guest. But before I introduce our guest, I want to give some brief information about our organization. My name is Sivam Velayudham, and I am the founder and the president at Voice of Men 360. Voice of Men 360 actually is a non-profit organization founded in 2020 and is based in Toronto, Canada. Voice of Men 360 was born out of seeing a tremendous need and stepping up to provide services to help support and overcome men voice life challenges. We are part of International Men's Day. International Men's Day has been serving for over 21 years, and so far 90 countries around the world joined together and doing various activities regularly. IMD follows six pillars, which is the overall the well-being of boys and men. We follow in the same footstep. Why we want to support this boot camp? Very simple. See, nowadays, parents, especially fathers, dads, including myself, we are struggling, shaking, running around. Many dads do not know how to handle their kids, including myself, of course. It is a great opportunity to work with an individual who can help on those areas. Helping kids, empowering them, giving hope. Let me introduce our first, special guest, Oliver Levy. His mission, of course, this is, you have to hear this one. My mission is to make a difference in society, to equip over 10 million parents with actionable tools in order to guide their children to greater achievements without getting frustrated. I am a recovered jeweler. Yes, I have three children, a 27-year-old king, a 12-year-old prince, and his 9-year-old princess. He has been there in the same shoe as parents who struggle with temper tantrums. Kids do not listen, whining, sibling battles, and lots of more parenting challenges. This is catalyst for developing mindful parenting toolkit. It was his own realization that he had turned into the jeweler that he swore he would never be. He became determined to find a better way, a healthier, happier means of raising great kids without losing control. He immersed himself in the study of principles of Levian psychology and positive discipline. What he learned was life challenging. Sorry, was life changing, family changing, and just flat out powerful. What he knew, however, from his experience working in the community was that parents needed an easy to understand process, actionable steps so they can feel composed and confident guiding their children to greater achievements. This is where he knew he could make a difference in the world. With his mission in mind every single day, cannot do it by himself. Therefore, this is the platform, one of the platforms that we want to help Oliver. Oliver, welcome, Oliver Levy. How are you, Oliver?
Thank you. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for having me on this platform, and thank you so much for
Awesome.
this platform, Voice of Men 360.
Awesome. Before I get into that, I just want to share something. As soon as I see the heading, I mean the title, the show, I started to write down questions and then I cannot stop. Okay, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know how much we can cover, but let's see.
Sure.
I just want to start with, can you tell us how did you start your journey with mindful parenting? Of course, I read your bio, but I want to hear from your own words. Please go ahead.
Sure. So I'm gonna try to make it brief because this it's a long process, and I'm gonna just kind of paint the picture and try to make it brief. So, coming from an island to Jamaica, coming here to Canada at 16 years old, and then my son was born, my first son, which is you said 27, he's 28 now, and I find myself was raising him the same way my parents raised us, which was nothing against my parents, but because it's the old era, they have different tools. And put it this way, there's a fine line between child abuse and punishment. So I find myself doing the same thing with my oldest son when he was about 6 or 7 years old. And I lost that relationship very quickly because that was very abusive. I'm going to be honest. And then fast forward to my current wife right now, the situation where my 12-year-old son, when he was 3.5, I found myself in the same situation. So guess what? The common denominator was me, right? So I had to find a better, like you said, a healthier way to approach the situation. Because for me, I was destined. At that point, I didn't know, but based on my activities and based on my mindset, I wanted to be the best dad I could be, and I wanted to do things a little bit different from my parents. But guess what? I had to unpack a lot of different things that came with that because you just can't change by yourself. It's not going to work. And through, like you mentioned, Algerian psychology and a few more that I've studied in the 9 years, what I found out, simple strategies that really took a life changing, for me and my entire family. So that's how I came about doing this mindful parenting toolkit. There's a lot more to it, but I want to keep it short and brief. And you can ask me a question here and there. I can help you fill in the blanks.
Absolutely. Um, Even though I heard a number of times, with two, three shows in our platform, at our platform. But however, I really want to get the word out from your mouth because this is the powerful boot camp for dads. That's why I want to ask you that question. Okay, let's jump into the powerful boot camp for dads. Sounds so interesting. So, when did you start and how do you run it? The 4 days. Go ahead, please explain more. Thanks.
Sure. First of all, this is my first time. Over the last 4 years, I've been mentoring and teaching parents how to raise successful kids without the frustrations and power struggles for the last 4 years. And 80, I would say close to 90% now of my students that graduate from my program are mothers, grandmothers, or even aunties. And 50 to 60% of those graduates always say to me, Oliver, when are you going to do something for that? Not that my programs was only for moms, it was for everyone. But like you point out earlier, dads have a lot of challenges, maybe egos, different things, right? And so I was kind of a little bit confused. But the more and more I'm running these classes in which 90 to 95% of mothers and grandmothers, they always push me to do something specifically for dads. So I said to myself, this year I'm going to start. So I started the process, and for the last 4 or 5 months, started the process, and now starting October 14th, this Saturday coming is going to be my day one of the 4-day boot camp. And basically, this 4-day boot camp is it's something that I said to myself, I want to be able to impact fathers, busy, dedicated fathers who just really want to create harmony at home and live the that lifestyle that they wanted to live, and make sure that their kids are successful. But most dads don't really know what to do or where to start. So this 4-day boot camp is going to change your life drastically. The first day alone is going to change your life drastically. And um, I took one module from I think 1 to 2 modules from my 7-day course, my 7-week course rather, to teach this 4-day boot camp. And just like you read in the introduction there, this alone is going to change your entire life.
Absolutely. Um, See, every day you have, I mean, the 4 days. Why? What was the reason for 4 days? And each day, can you go a little bit deeper on each day? What you're going to cover?
So the reason for each day is to listen. Parenting, you can't learn that in a 7-week course. I'm going to be honest, but obviously you can walk away knowing that you can create harmony at home. So, number one, I didn't want a 1 day thing or a couple hours thing. I wanted a 4 day, or 2 hours per day. And each day I go step by step. So, in this parenting, my methodology, there's a 3-step process to every misbehavior a dad or a parent must take. And it's very simple. It's nothing really too much about it. So what I've done is to set up each day so it's progressive. So one of the things that changed my life, and I definitely is going to change Dad's life in this boot camp, is that there's a 3-step process. First, we must be able to connect with our kids. We all want to correct our kids, Sivan, right? It's like me giving you a farm, an empty farm, and I say, go pick some apples. There's no apples, there's no apple tree there. So I can't give you the tool to pick apples. So you have to really start from planting that seed first. So, and it doesn't take much at all. Within 4 days, you'll see changes in your kids once I give you the tools to connect with them. That is their biological needs. That's more important than any other behavior you can want to correct. So the first day is about understanding that our personality plays a part in their misbehavior. That's right off the bat. So that's day one. Day two, and they'll get a lot of insights on that and tools on that. And they'll get the second day, they'll start get the practical tools to put those things in process. So by the 5th and 6th days, they can see changes while they're in the boot camp still. And the second day now, it's all about how to really get your kids to start doing the things you want them to do without the power struggles. The third day is the real meat of this whole boot camp, where I'm going to teach you really one powerful tool, practical, simple tool that you can use to really get your kids to do what they need to do without, and very important, without the power struggles and the frustrations from you as the dad or the parent in this case. And the fourth day is how to, you know, inspire your child from the inside out. What that means is, Savan, is we all want our kids to make good choices, and we all want them to have impactful friends and not to go astray. That's not good. You can't really count on that, because then how do you make sure those things happen? So I give you tools to make sure when a child make a decision, it comes from internal values, not an outside factor, not based on what their friends think, or not based on anything outside. Internal values that you can instill in them, so you don't have to worry about them getting in bad companies or doing unwanted things and stuff like that. We can pray and hope, but prayer and hope only can go this far. And that's the outline of the 4-day boot camp.
Wow. There are so many layers that need to be covered. As you said, I completely agree. And then whoever is watching, it is not one day or even 4 days. It is not, we cannot cover even 1 month. It's very, very hard. And what is, well, I mean, is there any prerequisite to attend the boot camp in terms of the age or, number of participants, you know, any pre-request and the limitations?
Not at all. Once you have your child living with you from, age 2 to teenager age, doesn't really matter. One of the requirement is when you get into the boot camp, or just before, depends on when you sign up. I'll ask you, I'll give you a free complimentary parent personality assessment survey. That assessment survey is really fun. It takes you probably 90 seconds to fill out because I don't want dads to think too much because I don't want it to kind of mess up with the survey. And then you're going to get the results back. And the results is very, very alarming. So it's the whole personality assessment survey. It's not to change your personality, is to understand and be mindful of your personality. Just like I talk about, the second day, you're going to learn how your personality shape or contribute to your child's misbehavior. A lot of parents don't know that. It's a fact that your personality causes your child to misbehave. And now once you look into yourself, it's almost like a mirror. You're understanding every day. Because for me, I'm a controlling freak. I want everything to be done a certain way. I grew up like an army style. However, when you see me with my kids and you see me at home, you'll never know that. Why? Because the controlling freak personality is going to trigger power struggle all day long because nobody like to be controlled. And I know that. And this parent personality insights allow me to tap into that and allow me to take a different approach with my kids. They don't see a controlling person. They're not supposed to struggle with me, and we're creating a harmony at home. So that's one of the only prerequisite for entering the boot camp, and yeah, that's it, and it's kind of fun.
From my understanding, what I'm hearing is that we had to go back and then relearn it, unlearn and then relearn it. Uh, I mean, go back to childhood and then start all over again. We have to be in the childhood mood or in that position to learn everything though. So it's so. I mean, it's kind of like a fun too. At the same time, it's reevaluating ourselves, learning ourselves. So is it only for dads or fathers? Because I see dadpreneurs. So um, can couple joining or can they join or just this time is only for the dads?
This time is only for dads. I mean, I can't stop a dad coming on and the wife is beside him, right? That's okay because I can't stop that. But this is for dads, and I put dadpreneurs. It's not because you're entrepreneurs. It's just that dads are busy and busy, dedicated, but at the same time they try to balance things and they want to make sure because in most homes, unless it's a single dad, but if they're in a, if and this is for any dads, but if they're in a homes, you know, some homes like to lean on the dads for a little bit more structure and talk to the kids a little bit more. It shouldn't happen, but in some household it's like that. So dads needs simple, practical, effective approach to make sure these things happen because they're busy. And in most cases, dads are busy, whether they have their own business, they have a business on the side, they have multiple projects going on, whatever it is, they're busy, they're dedicated, and they really want to make an impact in their family and create harmony in their family. So that's why I call it the dadpreneurs.
Nice. Um, One of the question that I want to ask you that, you know, when we talk about kids or parenting, it's not only one side, right? I mean, the parents. Let's say for talk about dads. So, are you allowing, or is it good to have the kids too, so they can both learn at the same time?
No, usually, and I get this question a lot. So here's the real truth. Reality, it's gonna hurt, but here's the truth. It's not about the kids. It's never about the kids. Uh, and I want us to understand, and with the viewers, your viewers too, is when your child comes from the hospital the first day when they were born, or the second day, or the first week, they never said to themselves, you know what? When I reach 13, I'm gonna back talk to my mom. When I reach 10, I'm gonna just throw my hands in the air and give attitude, and I don't want to wash the dishes, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to go to school. And they didn't say that. So um, I wanted to be very clear that no matter what your child's wrongdoings are, or whatever you're not happy with your child, it 100% comes from you first, comes from the parents. So here's why I took a turn, because I was mentoring kids ages 3 and up, and I was running a program every Saturday, and I had to reset the kids every Saturday they come to my program. And if I would have continued that up until now, the parents would have go broke trying to pay me, because I would have to reset them every single time. Why is that? Because they're home with the parents all day, every day, all through the week. They only come with me on a Saturday. And Saturday, Sunday, they're on their game. And parents have said to me, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you saying to the kids?" Because they helping washing the dishes now. I get note from the teachers that the kids are doing well, they're doing better. What's happening? And then the rest of the week, back to square one. So there's a few things parents are not mindful of. That's why it's mindful parenting toolkit. Parents have the tools. Parents have the totally understanding of how to raise their kids without frustrations, but they're just not aware of, they're not mindful of a few adjustments they need to make. So I don't usually get kids involved. Not at all. They absolutely, they don't need to be involved.
Uh, so a lot of things so far you discussed, and I'm so packed, man. Seriously, because there's so many layers. Like I said, it's very hard to understand because the frustration or the anger or whatever you call it, right? At the moment, it's very hard to control because end of the day we are human too, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Also, one other thing I remember, I just want to point it out that you know the generation that we are in is totally different from 50 years back or 100 years back. So many things had been changed, and also some of the parents or some of them even myself or even my parents, they are not ready to accept it, right? So it's still they want to keep up the old or traditional way. So there are so many things that we had to work it out though, right? But let's talk about is it going to be on virtual or how you are planning?
Yeah, it's going to be virtual. It's going to be virtual on Zoom, live, and then I'm going to have a private Facebook group. So I'll be running the replays there.
Okay. So when you run the boot camp, I mean the workshop, are you going to divide into different room setup in the during the session, or you're going to have just a one session though?
There's going to be a one session. And for those who sign up for the VIP, because there's going to be a VIP version where
Okay.
you get more personal interaction with me, and as well you get one-on-one coaching on the spot, live on the Zoom, and that's just a VIP. And that's when we break up into different session and role play some of the things that some of the tools that I teach in the main group. So that's the so yes or no in the main session there'll be no break, but if you sign up for the VIP session there'll be a breakout room and more fun, engaging, and some one-on-one opportunity for one-on-one coaching at the spot as well.
How long each session though?
Along each session. So the main session is about an hour or an hour and a half or so, based on a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
My presentation is going to be finished an hour, but based on the questions, it can go maximum half an hour after that. And the VIP session is another 1 hour, and that's starting half an hour after the main session starts. The main session finish.
Oh, okay. Um,
So it's two different sessions each day. Actually, each day there's going to be a VIP session.
so if somebody wants to sign up, like, is there any cost, for the for or even VIP? What are the cost involved?
Sure. So the course itself, so the value of
Mm-hmm.
this whole thing, and people, my mentors and even my wife was, question a few things, but this is a new business model that I'm testing out, and I know it works. So the value of this 4 days is a little bit over $2,000, and what they're paying is just $27, and for the main session, and which that's they're gonna get that within half an hour of the session, with all the insights and tools. And the VIP version is where they're gonna get a little bit more meat, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more clarity, and a little bit more one-on-one, not one-on-one, but one-on-one within the group from me, which is $97. And that's the price breakdown.
So for the 4 day boot camp, is it $27? Is that right?
For the 4 days, correct. $27 for the entire 4 days, correct.
Right. And then for the VIP, it's a $97.
For the 4 days, correct. Yes.
And of course, I already shared that website, so they can simply go and sign up. Or what is
Co-
the process though?
Yes, once they click on the website, they'll get all the details. They see all the schedule, each day breaks down, and they just click sign up, and they're in.
Right. So what exactly you want to achieve, or that the outcome you are expecting from this boot camp, specifically because why we want to support this is specifically for dads. So what do you want to achieve, Oliver?
Well, you know what? Like you pointed out before in your introduction, um, there's a big gap and a challenge in the household, and the one of the main challenge I've seen in the last 10 to 12 years, or men, fathers, men, boys. Um, there's a really gigantic gap. It's not even a small gap. That's men and fathers and even boys are facing, and so one of my objectives is this reason why I think this is going to be continuing. This is my first one, is to see if I can shorten that gap with all the parent coaching side of things, because um, my coachings is not only just parenting at itself. It's pretty much personal development at the same time, because parenting falls under two categories: um, relationship building and personal development. And relationship building is the main one, is the main thing. What does that mean? Is I find that men are not emotionally connected with their spouse and their kids. And because obviously it's not the purpose of not doing it is just that the educational part and just some insights and some understanding. That's the reason I've gone through that, and I realized that that was missing in my relationship, and I can safely say we're gonna celebrate our 14 years of marriage next week, and our relationship was stronger now than the first day we were married. Only because I'm still learning as I speak, but only because I understand the value of being emotionally connected with with somebody that you interact with all the time, with your spouse, your partner, whatever that is, and your kids. And that's what it's all about. So that's my objective in this boot camp, to kind of shorten that gap and give dads more insights so they can pass on those things to their kids. Can you imagine, Sivam, that there's a big challenge already which you laid out, which is that's why Voice of Men 360s exist. Can you imagine that you have a gap in your life or in our lives as men, and then we raising kids? There's going to be a bigger gap there. That's my whole objective for this.
Absolutely. That's why, like I said in the beginning, there's so many. I mean, it's not like a fathers, but the single dads, and even sometimes or many times single mothers too. The way they raise boys, right? So there's so much challenges in there. So it's not only dads or fathers, but fathers means when we talk about kids, we are not just talk about of course we are specifically talking about between 2 and the teenagers, but children are children. It can be 20 25 years or even because they're going to get married and then they're going to have children too.
That's correct.
So it's a generation. So there are so many correlations, and there's so many things to take care of that, right? So let's
And
let's
even
start.
I just want to add to that, and even a single mom, and the based on the culture too, um, you know, then the dad on the other side, right? Because my program is not only for dads. I just want to make your viewer knows that. It's for all parents. But even a single home, it's really tough on the dads. Based on it's really tough on the person who doesn't have the child. Majority of the time, and I find that especially when this particular parent who don't have the child all the time, they tend to kind of do more other fun things to make up for the time that they're not with the child than actually. So now when they learn certain tools and strategies and insights, even if you have the child for half an hour every other week or half an hour every week or whatever the case is, even as small as that, you can make a big impact on that child so the child is more balanced. Because you made a really good point in terms of single mothers are raising kids and single mothers are raising boys, and which is really tough psychologically for the child. But if the dad or the other parent have a certain tools and strategies, then it's more effective than just kind of doing your own thing and try to make up for time because you haven't had that time with your child.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very well said, Oliver. And also, there are other layers, other things that we haven't touched on that. But let's talk about fathers. What they can expect after attending, or why they want to Of course, even though they are going through so many challenges, but generally speaking, men, we don't want to sit down and then take a notes, or we don't want to do so much works in terms of writing and things like that, and also follow up. So what they can expect. Help me out, Oliver.
Well, what they can expect is not too much of that because I'm a dad and I understand dad needs, just like what you pointed out. So these workbooks and worksheets already fill out. It's done for you. So it's almost like a manual is given to you just for you to reference later on. Obviously, we must have to be able to do some work, and the work is not necessarily to read and go through workbooks. The work is to hear, Sivan. It's the mindset when you approach the child, how you should approach the child to get the result you want. And here's why that's so important. And this is what dad can expect. There's absolutely no way you're struggling and you're going to continue to do the same thing that you've been doing for the last 2 to 3 years and expect your child to act differently. So there has to be some sort of little bit of adjustment to you yourself in your approach. So you must be able to do some sort of groundwork to see the result you want. If you want a result, you got to change your actions. That's simple it. But this is not really learning a new language. It's not really learning a lot of things all over. Like I said, I guarantee you, um, all parents have what it takes to raise successful kids without the power struggle and frustrations. They're just not mindful of a few little tweaks in the approach. That's it. Only the approach. So they can expect to be overwhelmed in a good way. They're going to get a lot of aha moments like, oh, a lot of things that some insights and tools they can totally relate to because, coming from a dad to another dad, they can totally relate. A lot of mom relates to what I teach, and that's why they're pushing to do something specifically for dads. So that's what dad can expect. Expect to come learn simple, practical tools that works, not trial and error. This is not a trial and error. It works. And if you want to be able to change or adjust your child's attitude, approach, mentality, you must be able to put in some work on your own self in order for that to happen.
Absolutely. So I like a couple of things that you said, especially the parents. I mean the dads. They have to. Of course, we have to do our works too. Otherwise, there's no point of taking that. And I mean, if we don't want to apply, or if we cannot apply, not correct me if I'm wrong, we cannot say everything is going to work just fine. Maybe one or two things it can work at a time, but many other things. But this will help you to open your eyes, and then some ways to understand yourself, and then also the kids too, right?
Correct. And I just want to add to that too, which is correct. And if over the course of the 4 days, you're gonna get at least three powerful tools. And if you use one, that alone is gonna change your world. And when I talk to, for example, friends, they say they take this course and they take this thing, and sometimes they complain to me and say it doesn't work. And one question I ask Sivam is that, so what did you learn? I learned this. What did you put in practice? That's the key.
Yeah,
So learning something is one thing. Putting it into practice, that's where you're going to see the difference. So, and I usually say, why you say it doesn't work if you don't put anything in practice, right? So, and I'm not expecting all parents to put all the things that I teach in practice, because everybody have different, you know, different things happening in their life, and timing is important and all these things. And like I mentioned before, sometimes they can't see their kids for like weeks and stuff like that. Depends on the situation. Everybody's situation is different. However, if you use one tool, and one of the tool that I teach is so simple, you have no excuse to use that tool. That alone will help you to start to create harmony in your family.
So basically, from my understanding, you just readjusting the TV or the channel or the radio station. The little bit just a fine tuning or just a changing the the channel. That's all. So you get some
Correct.
kind of different changes or different kind of impact. Um,
That's
so
correct.
let's talk about just a quick question on that. Workshop. Did you add anything in terms of the last 1 year, 1.5 years? Everything's totally changed, Oliver. Right? I'm talking about the COVID, the pandemic, right? In terms of handling the kids, they are staying at home and then going too much, even with the parents and even with the kids. So, did you add anything on top of your regular the manual or workshop material?
For sure. You got to roll with the times. You got to roll with the punches, right? And this era is so important for parents to start learning new tools to deal with their kids. Why? Because this pandemic, whether you're going to virtual school or physical school, or half and half, or you know it takes a toll on you psychologically, mentally. This is the reason why in the next 2 years you're gonna see for yourself, Sivam, that anxiety, depression is gonna skyrocket. Suicide rate is gonna skyrocket with your teenager. Why? Because this year and a half pandemic kind of speed things up, I would say 5, 6 years in advance. Everything pushed forward advance wise. Technology, the way things are, it's going to be a more faster pace. The world is getting more fragile. Things are getting more, a little bit more stickier. So, guess what? It's so important right now for parents to start understanding that their kids' mental health is more important than getting good grades, than making a basketball team, or do well, or whatever it is. Because if you do great in school and you don't have the right mental capacity to do the things that you want to do, doesn't make sense. So I'm glad you asked that question, because now than ever before, parents must adjust the way they approach their kids moving forward, if they want to see their kids to be successful or not.
Absolutely. I mean, you brought the couple of points actually, Oliver. The suicide and also the sexual abuse and bullying, everything. Sometimes, especially nowadays, it's a cyber abuse or whatever you name it. People, they don't talk about it, right? And then they cannot even tell to the parents or even parents somehow, right? So they don't have any idea what's going on the day screen, right? So we know, right, personally, and every one of us know what's going on, right? Even the news and everything. It's so sad, but at least if we can take or if we can give some kind of hope or some kind of openness, like so some kind of tools, okay, they can work with it and then they can apply and then they can see some kind of changes, some kind of impact, right? So it will help a lot of ways though. And did they will they get a certificate or anything after they finish it, after they complete the boot camp?
No, unfortunately, no certificate. They usually get after my 7 week program, but 4 day boot camp. No.
Okay, that's fine. So share about the dates. I believe is from August 14th to 17th. What time is going to start and then what time is going to end?
Yes. Thank you. So 14th and 17th. Each day, the main session starts at 6:30 to 7:30, like I explained before, and 8:30 is when the VIP starts each and every day. So each day, same time, same location. For the main session and for the VIP session, same time, same location as well.
You're talking about 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, Eastern time. Thank you for that clarification.
Right. So the reason is that we have a groups and then we are people in our community. I mean the group, Facebook group, and there are other groups that they are belongs to different countries or part of different countries. So if they can or if they want to attend, what would be the how do you filter them? Like you know they have to pay US dollars or
Yes. So they sign up on the US dollar currency. And, if they can't attend, obviously they can watch the replays. And there's going to be a little bit of, they can ask me questions. There's two places they can get the replays. I'm going to have a special portal set up. It's called Playbook. Playbook is a new name for module. Playbook is a little bit more advanced, where everything is there, all the video replays there, all the resources there. You can ask questions there. You can many different things you can have there, and plus with that you have your Facebook group where you can also catch the replays, ask questions, and interact with like-minded dad as well. So yes, they could. It's $27 US dollars, and yeah.
so this session will be um, on through Zoom, is that right?
Correct. It's coming through Zoom.
So as soon as they signed up, they will get that confirmation and the Zoom link and everything.
Yes, when they sign up, they get quite a few things actually. They'll get assigned to that playbook. They'll get a link to register for the Facebook group. Obviously, you have to go through a process. There's also get a link to a form to fill out the parent assessment survey, because that's almost mandatory. If they haven't filled it out, they'll fill it out live on the call. It's going to take 90 seconds to fill out. And what else? So they get that. And if they sign up for VIP, they also get a T-shirt as well, Mindful Dad T-shirt, and they'll get all the necessary, and um, they'll get a link reminder every day for each session, 1 hour before each session.
Right. So as we said earlier in the beginning of the conversation, mostly dads are so busy and then they cannot be. I mean, they really want to somehow. They really want to, um, have a good life or have a good role model for their kids. But at the same time, they are busy. They cannot attend and they cannot. They don't have time to learn, unfortunately. So are you planning to run more of these in the coming in the near future, or what's your plan?
Yes. No matter how this turns out, based on how it turns out, strategies has to change, because I think it is not I think I know it's necessary to do this. I don't know when the other one is going to be, because so many different things line up for the rest of the year for me. But I know for sure I'll be doing this again.
Nice, nice to hear. Of course, we want to support that too because it's not a one time. Of course, you have to develop and then you have to add more things to it. But at the same time, that if it's a one time, then whoever missed it, they miss it, so they can come back and then they can learn it
Yeah.
too.
It's
So
this father dad thing. It's a global challenge,
right.
right? And one session or 4 day, a 1 hour 4 day boot camp is not gonna really push me towards my mission and goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. So of course we have all the information so far. Before we end up, are you? I mean, do you have anything to share? To finish it off.
Not at all. I would say for the busy, dedicated dads, I just want to say, in anything in our lives, we want, we have to put in a little bit more work and adjust. So sometimes we could be very busy, but I want us to think of the long term solutions or the long term impact you want on your family, whether you're single dad or you're married, whatever your status is. Think about the long term impact you want on your family or your kids, and just understanding that it's important to make those adjustments. Life is all about adjusting, and those who can adjust will see results. And just find the time, because we don't make time because we're too busy. You don't make time. You find the time for the betterment of your kids and your family.
Of course, if you think, okay, you know what, this is important. If you give priority, of course, you can find a time. There's no other other way around. You
That
open.
is it. You said it very well. If you don't have the time, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anyone, but if you don't have the time, then that means your priority is a little bit different.
Exactly, exactly. So, in your priority, kids is not there. That's not your first priority. In other words, don't
Correct.
get me wrong, but it is what it is. All right. So, Oliver, I really want to take this opportunity to thank you because of course your mission is so powerful. At the same time, like how we can help at least one or two people or one family, you know, on the same hand. So, whoever is willing to take that opportunity, this is a great opportunity. Find out more. Www dot that pronounce DADPRENEURS bootcamp.com. So,
Dadpreneurs Bootcamp.
exactly. And is there any email that they can contact you?
Yes, mindful parenting toolkit at Gmail. And one more thing I should say,
Go ahead.
because the price is very affordable,
Yep.
definitely moving forward, this is not going to be the same price. It is this price because I wanted to make it affordable. And also, this is my first one I'm running. But definitely for those who miss out, you will never see this price ever again. I can guarantee that. So I just want to put that in there just in case people see the price now and they want to jump on the other one and they see the price change. It's not going to be the same.
So mindful parenting kid at gmail.com. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Mindful parenting toolkit at gmail.com.
All right. I was thinking like even not only dads or fathers has to actually pay. Even kids can pay for them. It's just for the okay, go and dad at least you learn something. So
Correct. Mothers can pay for the dads too.
exactly. So
Yeah.
not only dads always you have to pay. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate, apart from joking and everything, I really appreciate your enthusiasm and the dedication you put towards dads out there, especially the dads whoever cannot be present at the life of a child, right? This will help you. This will help the kids and the dads. Generally speaking, the whole family, right? So thank you, Oliver, for joining, and then we will success this, you know, this boot camp. We will wish you, and of course, whatever we can, however we can help you, we can support you. All
And I
right.
want to thank you so much for
Yeah.
providing this platform and to give
Yeah.
me an opportunity. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And of course, let's hope for the best. Whoever can join, sign up and then see what's the result you can do have make an impact, empower. That's the inspiration from Oliver. All right. And I do have a few announcements before I close this show. And of course, as many Canadians knows that our indigenous communities are in a big crisis, and now they need our help and support. Voice of Men 360 is stepping up and started a donation drive for indigenous families. If you have used clothes, dry food items, please let us know. We will collect them. Call at 416-356-7414 or 437-889-8329 or info at voiceofmen360 at info at voiceofmen360.org, or contact us through Facebook Messenger and let us know. We will coordinate with you. Voice of Men 360 will be hosting our first meet and greet Saturday, August 28th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Earl Bales Park, 4169 Bathurst Street, North York, nearby Bathurst Street and Chaput Avenue West. And we have regular live shows through Facebook and YouTube. Open up, sharing your personal life journey. Live talk show is on every Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Bully is a Tamil talk show, is again on Sunday 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and monthly webinar first Saturday of every month at 10:30 Eastern Time. We bring expertise organizations and discuss a particular topic on each time. And the monthly special show, The Unspoken Tears, second Saturday of every month from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The focus is domestic violence against men, bullying, male sexual abuse, traumas, and human trafficking. Coming Saturday, we will be discussing on are we really aware of domestic violence against men? And South Asian Men Show. This is third Sunday of every month from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Voice of Men 360 and All Bengal Men's Forum will be hosting in this show. We will specifically focus on issues that are faced by South Asian men and create awareness. Each month, different countries from South Asia will participate. Podcast. All of our shows are available on 6 platforms, including iPhone, Google Play, and so on. And monthly men's group meeting only for men by men. Third Tuesday of every month from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time through Zoom. The next one will be on Tuesday, August 17th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Please join through Zoom. The link is, of course, available on Facebook and Facebook page and Facebook group. Pass the Talking Stick, Indigenous Peer-to-Peer Support Group. Fourth Friday of every month from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. through Zoom. Of course, the next one will be on Friday, August 27th at 6 p.m. Please join through Zoom. The link is, of course, available on Facebook page and group, Voice of Men 360. There are no limitations with the gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. All walks of life can participate in any of our shows. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows or willing to be part of our organization and help us directly or indirectly, please reach out to us. We would love to work with individuals, professionals, expert community organizations, associations, corporations, government officials, and businesses. Our phone number is 437-889-8329. Email address info@voiceofmen360.org, website www.voiceofmen360.org. Of course, you can find us on all the social media, Facebook group page. Join our group so you can get our daily activities, and please invite your friends as well. Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Voice of Men 360. Thank you. Thanks a lot once again, and please continue your support. Thanks.